I am Vinnie Totorich. Folks, your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. Anna knows when I play whipping post, there's something on my mind.
I gotta say, I feel like you started either last week's or the week before with that same song. So what's going on, Vin?
No, I think I started a couple of weeks ago with, didn't I start with, let me think about it. Molly Hatchet, Flirting with Disaster.
That was one of them.
Yeah. I don't think I've done whipping post for a while because
I'm gonna have to go to your site right now because I'm pretty sure I was like,
and
oh,
I'm
damn.
sure I didn't do it in the past couple of, no. I only do whipping post when I feel like I've been tied to the whipping post, when I feel like I've been beaten with the ugly stick.
Uh-oh. What happened? Hold on.
It's no big deal. But look, Anna, no good deed goes unpunished, right? You can't win for trying. Sometimes I wonder why I wake up in the morning and even do any of it. Matter of fact, I should say most days I wake up in the morning and wonder why I do any of it. So,
well, that's relatable.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm finding it.
You really? You think you're going to find it? Folks, while she's searching for that, let's do an ad for Anna. Eat Happy Kitchen right now. She still has BOGO. Well, BOGO 25 might
BOGO
be
25 is no, it's still BOGO 25 is still happening. That'll probably be on for one more month at Eat Happy Kitchen off the spices.
Yeah, she's clearing out. These spices are good and they're fresh. She just has a new canister coming in.
New canisters are coming.
She does not want Cro-Magnon man and Neanderthal to be on the earth at the same time. So what she's doing is she's doing BOGO 25 until they run out. But then after that, and she quit showing me that and keep looking for whipping post, which you won't find.
I know you've done it in the past month. I know you have.
You know, I got $1 I'll put on it. You know, I like to gamble big. It's got to be in the past month. It has not been in the past 2 months. I'll make a bet 2 months. I'll double the bet, $2.
Well, time runs together. It's timeless when you and I are together.
But Eat Happy Kitchen, folks, BOGO 25 on all of the spices. So go get the powders. We call them the powders around here, Anna's powders. But you can go get this stuff. It spices up everything. She's got the salt. We call it the Anna salt. And then she's got the barbecue, which we put on everything, including ice cream. I'm kidding because we don't eat ice cream. But if we did, we would put the barbecue dust on that. And then there's the dill and, of course, the taco seasoning, which I used 2 nights ago when I did taco bowls. BOGO 25, you buy one twin pack, you get another twin pack, 25% off. That's one hell of a savings. Also, Anna Vocino, as of this podcast.
And you might be right. It's not been in the past 2 months.
You owe me money.
I owe you $1.
I will be looking in my Venmo later on. Folks, continuing on with Anna Vocino and how great she is. She now has a brand new product over at Eat Happy Kitchen. And you're going to want to go get this stuff right now. Now, Anna, now you can hold it up. Or are you still trying to make that $1? She's still trying to make that $1. Hold it up, Anna, so the audience can see what you got over there.
Oh, these.
Yeah. She's got
cheese bites.
Happy cheese, crunchy, cheesy bites. Yeah. And later on in the show, we're going to get her to mukbang them. Not right now. Right. Later on, she's going to get in the mic real tight. And are you going to mukbang right now?
No, I'll wait.
Yeah, we'll do it.
You know what? If you start talking about something like endurance sports and I get bored, I'm going to just start mukbang in the middle of you talking about endurance sports.
Whenever I bore you, you're going to mukbang? Yeah, that's good. So let me see if I can keep it on track.
Okay.
See if I can keep it going.
That'll be your sign that you've gone off the rails.
25 on the powders, and but not
cheese bites. We have introductory pricing that's really good. Now, really? I got to be honest. I don't know when this is coming out. A lot of you, I've been talking for almost a year about these cheese bites, and you went and signed up for the early notification. About 500 people signed up for that. That's it. those people get an extra deep discount off the introductory pricing.
And
But if you didn't and you missed it, then that's on you because I've been talking about it nonstop for a year.
because we're friends and I didn't sign up because I figured I know you, can I get the deep discount? Just the one-time deep.
You get a deep discount because you're my friend. And I'm just going to send you some.
No, I hate when you do that because I charge you for my vitamins.
That's okay. I don't mind. I take a lot of vitamins.
Yeah.
I might be your number one customer.
You could.
We might just be doing this podcast for each other.
We actually have a woman somewhere in the continent of Africa that we literally send vitamins to a whole village. Did you know that?
No, that's amazing.
We've been doing that from almost, she gets a whole bunch of them and
That's great.
we send them over and the whole village it's not a big giant village, but yeah, we've been doing that for a long time.
That's very cool.
Anyway, folks, go check out Anna Vocino at Eat Happy Kitchen.
Thanks so much.
Whipping post. So
yeah, what's going on? I'm worried about you.
So, I've been complaining for years about Meta and that, they have me locked down and all that kind of stuff and they won't show my stuff.
And then you had the Ozempic thing.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff happens, right? So I decided to go to, as you know, to X. Kind of like LeBron James when he took his talents to Florida and then he took his talents to LA. I took talents to X.
Okay.
Folks, don't write to me. I get it. If you hate Elon, good on you. If you love Elon, good on you too. I don't care. Right. As a matter of fact, I saw, Anna, you have a Tesla, right?
I do.
Yeah. I saw a sticker on a Tesla the other day. Right. It was in front of me at the stoplight. It said, "Hey, I bought this car before we knew who Elon Musk was." So I guess that guy's trying not to get his car keyed up.
I've heard that people are keying the cars of Tesla owners, which I think is quite possibly the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
You might want to go get yourself one of them stickers so you don't get keyed up. I thought about you.
They can key my car. It's very old.
So they would look at yours and go, we feel sorry for her. We're not going to key it.
Probably, but I feel like they look at me and think that anyway. So I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what other people think of my car.
So anyway.
I drive 10-year-old cars. I don't give a shit.
Hey, look, Serena's driving one that's at least that old.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I said, well, since they won't show my stuff to people on Instagram, I got about 2,500 videos.
Yeah, because you really haven't been active on Instagram.
No, I haven't gone to Instagram ever since I did my FaceTime diet, like phone screen time thing. I'm still keeping that under an hour a week on average. I just haven't gone to Instagram because Instagram is nothing but a time suck. They show you the same things. They think no matter what I look at, like what I wanted to look at on Instagram was hot sports cars. I like watching model boats and model planes fly. I also like watching like speed boats and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm like a big child, right? And every now and then I'll look at, like off-road vehicles. But for whatever reason, they think I want to see fitness chicks, like all, bulbousy, pumped up, steroid fitness chicks, which I've never been into. Yeah, I know it's weird. I've been in the gym my entire life. I like a very fit looking woman, but I don't like a bodybuilding looking woman. And they show me a lot of that. And they also think I want to see women in yoga pants doing yoga stretches where their crotch is prominently placed in the camera.
Right.
And every guy I talk to says that, oh yeah, we get the same ones. And
that's funny.
I
never get those. Surprise, surprise.
Right, because you're a woman. I went, Serena goes, look, you could just do this and then X out all of them and say, I never want to see this material again. The very next day, it's
on there.
It'll be clearer the next day, but the day after that, boom, right back to what they think I want to see. And how could they not want to see? I'm looking at Ferraris. I'm looking at Lamborghinis. I'm looking at, model airplanes. I'm a nerd. I'm looking at model trains. Right. I'm looking at wooden kayaks, all the stuff I like to do.
Right.
Mountain biking. But no matter what, Meta decides I want to see, vaginas through yoga pants. So that's what they send me. Anyway, oh, I should say I still have this cold, this summer cold. So if I'm sniffling, that's why. I decided to download all of my stuff from Instagram, all of my videos.
Mm-hmm.
And Anna, I don't know if you've seen my X lately, but I put up somewhere between 3 and 4 of them per day on X.
That's great.
And because of that, my engagement level on X has gone through the roof,
Oh, I bet.
right? Because it's all of these motivational videos that one after the other. That's where they are.
So all your stay motivated stuff is now there?
Yeah, and I'm
That's
putting up like
great.
3 or 4 of them every day. Excuse me,
Amazing.
I got a cough. Let me hit.
Okay, do your coughing. And I noticed because I used to, if I tagged you on Instagram, you would do a reply or whatever. But I guess if you're not even opening the platform or looking on it, you wouldn't see it.
No, and I may go back at some point, but as long as they want to act like jerks, I'm just, I'm not there to, I've never begged to dance with the prom queen in life, and I'm not going to start now.
Right.
Right. So, since I'm putting more stuff up on X, I'm getting more people on X who have never heard of me before seeing my product. And by the way, it didn't hurt that one Mr. Ted Nugent took a clip of me, not one that I had. Do you know about this? Do you know what the Ted
No.
Nugent thing? All right. So all of a sudden, I was real hot on X one day, and I'm like, oh, Mike Rowe put a clip of me, a 1 minute, 25-second clip of me.
Awesome.
Turns out it wasn't Mike Rowe. It was one Mr. Tedrick Nugent.
That's very exciting.
Yeah. Ted Nugent clipped out a piece of my micro thing and put it up and said, hey, listen to this guy, which is pretty fucking awesome if you ask me.
That's
Right?
amazing. Yeah.
So that got more people, of course, it got more people yelling about Ted Nugent because Ted Nugent have lovers and haters, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because of, he gets real political. So that's why I stay
Oh.
apolitical online. I don't need another headache. Anyway, I'm seeing nothing but vegans coming after me hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, dear.
And that's why, again, I feel like I'm tied to the whipping post. I pulled up one comment because, and this is indicative of a lot of comments I'm seeing. The comment reads, I also heard VT, I guess that would be me, had a good reputation, but he's perhaps the worst of the low carb keto carnivore crowd. And that's an
Why?
extremely high bar.
But why? But why?
I have no idea. I have no idea. And this comes from a guy with 17 followers. So he's killing it. I just looked
Well,
at how many followers he had.
well,
Here's a go vegan, go.
great engagement comes great craziness.
Yeah, and it doesn't end anytime soon, boy. They are out there for me right now, and you got
Well,
to
good.
go.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, folks. If you want to have some fun, go check me out on X, and
It's
don't.
nothing could be worse than if you post the oatmeal video, you will for sure incite the ire of most of the internet because
Mm.
apparently the internet cannot eat enough oatmeal.
Anna, nothing pisses people off more than when I talk about
You do
oatmeal.
not come for their oatmeal, sir.
Yeah, two oats that literally taste like wet cardboard, no matter what you do to it. No one can eat. I dare anyone to. I how we did the water bucket
Yeah.
challenge, ice
Ice
bucket.
bucket challenge. Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'm going to start the oatmeal challenge. I want to watch people eat a whole bowl of oatmeal, plain oatmeal.
Plain. Can't
Don't
put
add,
anything on it, folks.
don't add milk to it. Don't add
Sugar,
honey, brown sugar,
no fruit.
raisins, fruit, not just plain
Or the savory. Can't add salt, can't add cheese,
nothing.
hot sauce, none of
I
it.
want you to boil oatmeal. I want you to boil up some oats
And choke it the fuck down.
and just eat it. We're going to call it the oatmeal challenge.
Okay. And then what happens with this challenge if they do it?
I just want to see people do it. There's no, it's just like,
Okay.
nothing happened with the water. You just went, oh my God, I'm cold right now.
So
Right?
I challenge Diane 4227 to eat oatmeal.
Who's
plain.
that? Did she
I don't know.
yell at me
She's
online?
probably somebody who's mad at you.
Yeah.
I challenge CRW underscore bad mood
let me
underscore all the time.
Let me just find a couple of these people. Let's see. Where was the one, the guy I just pulled up?
Give him a shout out on the air.
Yeah. Beating my beaties. That's his thing. I guess he had diabetes and he went vegan and somehow beat it.
But then how is he familiar with the low carb community in order to place you at the bottom of his list of low carb people?
Another guy explained to me, you're going to love this one, that we all need to eat a lot of sugar, because if you're malnutritioned and you eat sugar, you won't be malnutritioned anymore. And I wrote back to him and said, if you're malnutritioned and you eat a bowl of sugar, you are still malnutrition, right?
What are the nutrients that he's getting in the bowl of sugar?
Well, there's only one macronutrient, and that's carbohydrates, simple carbohydrates.
But I'm talking about micronutrients. What's in a bowl of sugar?
Nothing. There's only one. Salt has more micronutrients. Some salts have up to 80 or 90 micronutrients. So you can actually make an argument that salt will give you more nutrients than sugar, because sugar has one nutrient, and it's a macronutrient, and it's a carbohydrate. That's it. The other one that got people pissed off at me was when I put the one up that said that in order to build, and this is the bro science community, to build muscle, you must have carbohydrates. It's a must, right? There's no carbohydrates needed to build muscle. Zero.
I thought you just needed protein.
Well, to build muscle, you need protein. They go, what about the energy? Well, you can use fat. Fat is the best energy. So you get all the energy you need from fat, and you get all of the protein you need to build muscles.
Right.
What's the carbohydrate? Dude, when you want to build muscle, I read it. Blah, blah, blah. You got to get your insulin up, because when your insulin's up, it drives growth. Right? These fucking idiots, Anna. I don't know how these fucking guys wake up.
Wait. I don't understand. What does that mean? Insulin drives growth, according to Bro Namath.
Bro science. They heard it somewhere.
So, explain what Bro Namath is trying to say.
I have no idea. Do you understand?
What insulin drives growth?
I can't even, Anna. In some cases with these idiots, I can squint
and kind of see the logic.
See a logic?
Yeah.
And whenever they say, well, sugar will raise your blood sugar, therefore you'll have more energy doing the workout. Okay. I can squint.
So that's like because you're hyper, because the kid ate birthday cake, he can run around the yard and do the zoomies because he's hyper.
And by the way, if you eat oatmeal or something, that will give you more of a load, not just a spike, right?
So it's sustained.
I can squint and go, okay, I get how you'll have a higher energy workout if you ate a complex carb like oatmeal, pasta, rice, this sort of thing, right? Because so I can squint and get there. Right? But you're not going to burn up all that glycogen, and you can do a whole workout and your glycogen levels will still be high because the insulin is still trying to knock it down, and you're just going to start getting fat from that. You cannot exercise, as you've heard me say 1,000 times, is a horrible way to try to lose weight.
Explain that. It bears repeating.
I try to explain it to where the average person can understand it, right?
Because we're all taught about that bank. That bank of like, if I do 10 extra minutes on the treadmill, then I can have a glass of wine.
Right. And the naysayers will say, dude, thermodynamics, broski.
Calories in, calories out.
Just like the guy started yelling about insulin, right? Thermodynamics. Okay, you want to use, let me use, this is what I call, education jujitsu. I'm going to use your words against you.
You're going to use Bro Namath's words against Bronameth.
Let's go with thermodynamics.
Okay.
When you work harder, right? When you get from a sedentary state, yes, you're going to burn more calories. It takes more energy. So calories is a unit of measuring energy.
Right.
So let's forget about calories. Let's just look at energy. Okay. Energy is what's burned when you're burning energy all the time. It's burning at a higher rate whenever you're exercising. Okay. If you run out of energy, then the car stops. So in other words, you have a car, right? We just figured out you have a Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
You put energy in that battery, right?
Mm-hmm.
You fill that battery up with a bunch of electric energy that can be stored in a battery. You go down the road. After a couple of 100 miles, what happens, Anna?
You better stop and charge, or else your car
Let's
is
say you
going to
don't.
die.
Let's say you don't. Let's say you keep driving until it stops.
That's my nightmare. And then I'm in the desert.
Okay, you're in the desert of life. Why can't you keep going?
Because I got no energy, bro.
Okay. So if you want to use thermodynamics, you run out of energy. Why can't you keep going? Now, let me take the other side of the argument for a second to keep this conversation going. Well, broski, that's when the fat comes in, right? Your body starts burning fat. Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. And the way that happens is if you don't take in any energy. So let's say you're a fat burner to begin with. Okay.
So that meaning you're fat adapted.
You're fat adapted. Let's take that guy first. I'm going to do both. When you run out of energy, your body will continue to burn fat for a period, right? Runners have figured out, people like Mike McKnight did 200 miles fasted. The only thing he took was my ultrasalt in water for 200 miles to prove that you can, if you're fat adapted, you can go, you can keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that healthy? No, because he's burning fat. He's burning some of his body fat, but he's burning protein. He's burning muscle and
Right.
internal protein. The heart, you could damage your liver and everything else because your body is going to keep running on something. It's not going to just run on fat. It's going to take protein, turn that into sugar to maintain homeostasis. But it will allow you to do that because our bodies are very forgiving until we try to find another energy source. If you're not a fat burner, if you're not fat adapted, and you're living on sugar all the time, when that sugar runs out, you're going to bonk, you're going to get lightheaded, you won't be able to move, right? Why isn't the fat kicking in? Well, you're not fat adapted, so your body's not used to running on that fat. So your brain is shutting off the sugar before it gets dangerously low, and it's conserving fat. That's another reason, although I'm jumping around here a bit, that's why I tell people in the morning, I talk, Anna, as you know, I do phone calls with morbidly obese people daily, 5 days a week. By the way,
Right.
folks, if you want to set up a consult, feel free. You go to vinnietartaries.com, set up a consult. You could be talking to me by tomorrow. Unless you set it up on Friday, it'll be Monday. So here's the deal. Morbidly obese people, I can't tell you that. I wish I could have a percentage, but it's a high percentage. They all tell me the same thing. Hey, man, I never eat before noontime. I can't even think about eating in the morning. When you're a sugar burner and you wake up in the morning, your body's been fasting all night. You wake up, your brain is on that fast protocol, and all of a sudden you start moving again. It goes into, oh my God, so-and-so is trying to starve me here. I better conserve fat.
Right.
So even though you might have 200 pounds of fat to lose, guess what? You're not going to lose it. Your body is going to slow down its metabolism to try to keep you at a certain level. Right. And I've been working with fat people, 40 years now?
Mm-hmm.
All I
Mm-hmm.
do. More
Yep.
than 40 some odd. I'm getting old.
Yeah, you know your shit.
The bottom line is people go, oh, yeah, I like to eat within a window. All of that came around with the internet. Eating in a shorter window, OMAD, eating one meal a day. It's all diet trickery. I like people to get up in the morning, eat something with fat in it. Okay. Eat something with protein in it, stoke your metabolism so that your body can start moving again. And when you start to run out of that energy, stoke it again. It will start pulling fat from your body to keep the game going. But if you run the engine out of gas, just like with Anna's car with the electric energy, when it runs out, Anna's stuck in a desert. Do not be like Anna. Do not be stuck in a desert.
I would never.
Right? You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Did I explain that in a way in which people can understand it? Because it's
Yeah.
convoluted.
I guess, well, my follow-up question would be, what if you ate in the morning and you ate your lunch and you ate an early dinner, but then you stop eating?
That's
Because
what you should do. Because
isn't
at night you're slowing down anyway.
right.
You
I
know,
mean, I guess my question with the fasting, it's not all bad, the window. It's the fact that they're trying to not eat as long as possible so that when they do eat, I guess I'm saying I understand it. But I found for me, if I'm not eating in the morning, I'm like starving. But if I will actually stop eating earlier in the day and not try to have any snacks or anything before bed,
Mhm.
it does the same thing in a better way. Does that make sense?
I'm not really understanding.
Like if I'm doing intermittent fasting where I don't eat till noon or
Mhm.
1 and then stop eating at like 6 or 7,
Right.
I feel like that whole morning, because I get up at 6:30 and I start working immediately. I feel like that whole morning, I'm white knuckling, you know what I mean?
I would
Whereas, like, if I
you
get up and
don't
eat
put cream
something,
you don't put cream in your coffee or anything?
sometimes I don't. When I was doing true intermittent fasting, I was not. And so sometimes, I mean, now I am because I'm eating, but I'm saying, like, then it worked out better to have an eating window that started earlier in the day and ended, like, around 4 p.m. as
Right.
opposed to eating. But the problem is with my lifestyle is that dinner is the biggest meal of the day. It's the time when I can connect with my husband. It's
Right.
an important meal
It's the
for us.
same here for us, right? It's the
So
biggest.
that's what I choose to do. I couldn't do a long-term life of, sure, I get up at 6 and I can eat, but I'm not gonna stop at 2 or even at 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't. I'm not eating dinner at 4. Maybe
Nor
I'm
should
choosing lifestyle over an eating window, but I'm saying, like, maybe the eating window makes sense because that kinda worked for me. But you're saying what's interesting to me is that you're talking about morbidly obese people
right.
who've heard don't eat in the morning.
Right. And by the way, it doesn't just work for morbidly obese people. It works for anyone who's trying to lose any amount of weight. It's
Yeah.
better to wake up and get the metabolism stoked. So, and by the way, folks, you can go get I have the NSNG ebook at vinniecharters.com. I think it's like $10. Go get that. Just read through it. I've had more
The
people
best
lose more.
$10 you will ever
I've had
spend.
I've had hundreds of thousands of people lose millions and millions and millions of pounds. Just, it's something I put together in a cold sweat one day after I realized that I wrote a best-selling book and didn't give a prescription in the book. And we used to give it away for free. We gave it away for free for over 300,000 times. And now for 10
Now
bucks.
you gotta have some skin in the game.
Speaking of advertising, I didn't mean that to be an advertisement because the real advertisement is uh, uh, purevitaminclub.com. Folks,
Yes.
purevitaminclub.com was started for one reason and one reason only. I could not find the vitamin for myself. After I got better from leukemia back in '07, I started looking at everything that went into my body. And one day I looked at my vitamins and it had titanium dioxide in it. It had excipients, flow agents. And by the way, I wasn't taking some cheap shit Centrum stuff from the grocery store. I was going to Arrow One when there was only one Arrow One in the world, the original one over by what is it, CBS, Anna, where Arrow One was?
I thought the first one was, like, in Venice or something.
No, it was by CBS. It was right across the
Oh,
street.
in West Hollywood?
Yeah, that's where it
Okay,
was.
great.
And I used to go there and get my vitamins, or I would go to back in the day, there was something called Mrs. Gooch's, which was bought up by Whole Foods. I was going to these real high end stores to buy the best vitamins in the world. I was paying a lot of money for them, and the stuff in the vitamins I found out could cause cancer. I mean, not could. I mean, even in nanoparticles. titanium dioxide will cause colon cancer. You do not want the stuff in your body. When I saw that they were putting sand as a filler, high-end vitamins putting sand in your vitamins. Folks, you don't want to eat sand. You don't want to pay for it, at least. If you eat sand, it's because you went to the beach and you were trying to catch a frisbee and you ate a little sand. That's okay. But on a daily basis, you don't want this stuff. Pure Vitamin Club is the purest vitamins on the planet. Everything is in stock. Everything will ship today. Go to purevitaminclub.com and check out everything there. It's getting hot out there, so you want to get the Ultra Salt from purevitaminclub.com. It is the premier Ultra Salt for ultra runners and ultra cyclists around the globe. We
I
have
take it every day, and I don't do anything ultra.
If you play golf or anything like that, it literally, ask Anna's husband, it will change your game.
That's
you
right.
don't realize when you get tired and I'm just getting tired. No, you're getting dehydrated out there. And once you get dehydrated, you don't see the ball exactly the same way as you saw it in the first 9 holes for the second 9 holes. So taking things like Ultra Salt is almost like cheating when you're playing golf.
I can't tell you, these men, they go to this golf. My husband plays in a number. He plays in a number of tournaments throughout the year.
Yeah.
And one they do in particular in Ojai in September. And I beg him every year, please don't go, because someone's going to drop dead of a heart attack because it's 105 degrees every September in Ojai. And they go up there and he takes the ultra salts and he does okay. And I'm like, literally makes a difference in his golf game. But everybody else, they all drop dead of heart attacks. I'm just kidding. But seriously, these men in their 50s don't need to be golfing in 105 degree weather. These are the white cheddar and onion.
Yeah, keep going.
It tastes like a sour cream and onion.
Do you know how much I love to eat raw onion?
No, I don't.
Apparently, my great-grandfather from Sicily would eat whole white onions like an apple, right? I get that. I never do them that way. I chop them up, but I love white onion. And yes, folks, they're high in carbohydrates. But when that's the only carbohydrate you're eating ever.
But see, that makes people carb phobic, that statement right.
I know, I shouldn't say that. Yeah. I shouldn't say
Nobody got fat from eating white onions.
Yeah, because no one eats enough white
break.
onions.
No.
No one eats enough to even worry about it. But I do. I could get myself in a tizzy with a white onion.
You just reek of white onions. Okay, I'm done mukbanging. That was a really good snack.
You know, I might mukbang a white onion next week.
Okay.
Right here on the show. Yeah.
Please do. We want you to. Real quick, I wanted to go over this honey diet because since we're talking about bro science today.
Yeah, we might as well. Let's make it a whole bro science episode. Yeah. Debbie, you got your title.
Morgan from Instagram sent this to me.
Thank you, Morgan.
And thank you, Morgan. I believe Morgan is a she, but one of my husband's best friends is a guy named Morgan. So I don't know. I could be messing up. I apologize, Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan. I think of Morgan.
Don't be mad at me, Morgan.
I think of Man Morgan because of Joe Morgan, because he was a great baseball player.
So Morgan sent this to me, and it's from Seed Oil Scout, which Morgan had told me to them. I wasn't familiar with the website Seed Oil Scout, which is supposed to be a at least up till this point was a reputable website. Because you and I talk about that, like that's one of the biggest questions we get. Well, how do we know what food product to buy? How do we know what company's reputable? How do we know what website's reputable? And it is hard to tell. So I guess Morgan was frustrated because they thought that this website was have you heard of Seed Oil Scout? I hadn't heard of them before.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, I guess it was a website where you could get information from and it was reliable. But now there's the viral honey diet sensation, how biohackers use sugar to get shredded. You already love it. I can tell.
Go on, Anna.
That's you're gonna have to do your sarcasm thing with the slash and the S. Okay.
I already got a new bro thing. I got Bro Morgan right now. Okay. We're talking about Joe Morgan.
Yeah, Bro Morgan is ready. Okay.
It's right up there with Bro Namus and
By the way, Morgan, who sent this to me, specifically said, I know this is going to send you guys into a tizzy. Like Morgan knew what Morgan was doing. Okay. The viral honey diet sensation, calories in, calories out. All experts are in agreement that if you don't burn what you consume, you'll store it in the form of extra pounds. Should I keep going, Vinny, or do you want to?
No, I'd like to comment on that because I agree with that too. You know, that there is nothing you've
But
heard.
you just
Hang
said
on.
thermodynamics.
Right. But there is, even if you're eating a high fat, low carbohydrate diet, I want to add is, you know, because I thought about that. I'm an expert. Where do I stand on this? Technically, they're correct. If you sit there and eat 10,000 fat calories per day or 10,000 calories or not even 10, 7,000 calories a day of just protein and fat, now you have so many excess calories, you're not going to burn them off. That's a problem that happens a lot. Well, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but it's the truth, and they know it's the truth. Even Sean Baker said he ran into a bit of trouble. You know, just eating only red meat, just eating carnivore, right? If you eat too much of it, too much of a good thing, right? It can be a problem. So anyway, go on.
But what if the type of calories you put in affects the amount of calories that come out? I don't quite understand that sentence, but what if eating a certain way could boost your metabolism, making it impossible to keep on weight no matter how many calories you consumed? I mean, that's setting up quite a thing.
All right. So I'm glad I explained what I explained when I explained
Yes,
it.
me too.
Right. I agreed with them on the front side, going, yeah, okay, I'll buy that first statement. You got this expert to agree with you. Now go on, Anna.
Okay, before I go on, I'm going to tell you something, Vinny. My husband, about a year ago, started having these guys pop into his feed, and he was asking me about these guys eating the honey and the fruit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say that. I didn't realize it was called the honey diet, but I'm familiar with this because about a year ago, Lauren's talking about what about this? What about this? So back to the article. Okay. So then in this article is a screenshot of a Twitter, I think, a tweet from Alex Hardy at Integrated Alex saying, I lost 12 pounds and cut my body fat by 7%, eating mountains of honey for 90 days. It's called the honey diet. I have nothing to sell here. I'm just shocked it's this fun and easy.
Stop.
Thank you
Stop
at
right there.
Anabiology for showing me the light.
Anna and I learned a long time ago that on the internet, as soon as someone says, I have nothing to sell, that's a sales pitch. I want to go back to the fruitarian guy. Oh, I got nothing to sell. I don't have a horse in this race. Turns out he was making $1 million a year selling fruit at some kind of fruit festival that he ran.
He had a fruit camp,
He had
a
fruit camp.
fruitarian camp.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, then there's a
I got
before and
nothing
after
to sell
picture of
here.
Alex,
Yeah.
and he does look like he had lost some weight.
Great, good. All right, go on.
Although he does look like in the before picture, he's sticking his belly out. So
Trust me. I remember. I was a model back in the day, and as I've said tons of times, we took the before and after pictures about 30 minutes apart.
yeah. Well, there's different lighting. There's a different angle. So, and I don't know the site at Anabiology, Anabology. Sorry, ANABOLOGY.
Don't give them any more fucking recognition.
So I'm going to continue to read what the author. The biohackers and bodybuilders of X.com have discovered a metabolism hack that does exactly this. And it's the polar opposite of what you'd expect. Welcome to the sugar frosted world of the honey diet, the fairy princess diet, fruit till noon, and everything in between. This community hates seed oils almost as much as they love sugar, as PUFA is the ultimate lead weight on your metabolism. And then there's a screenshot of a tweet from Anabology that says, we might not all have the same opinion on seed oils, but at least we can all agree that sugar is good for you. That's from May 2nd of this
You know
year.
what? Look, Anna, anyone that wants to do that, knock yourself out, but you'll be back. Trust me, there is nothing. Sugar is what's killing us in this world. And I know I seem like I have a hammer so everything becomes a nail. I get it. But the bottom line is these people are absolutely wrong. Sugar will cause more problems, more health issues than anything else you do. It's up there with alcohol. It's up there with cigarettes. And oh, come on, Vinnie. No, it's up there. And is it addictive? Hell yeah. And by the way, to piggyback on this, I saw where that snake oil diet guy, the guy who would say bad things about overweight people,
Oh,
calling people
Cole. Yeah.
fatties and that whole thing. I hate that asshole.
He's crazy.
He's a
He's
horrible,
legit lost it.
horrible human being. Snake oil guy. Fatty, you're fat.
Snake
Fuck
diet.
that guy.
Snake diet, not
You know
snake
what?
oil. Snake
Fuck
diet.
you and fuck the goddamn horse you rode in on. I swear that drives me nuts. There's not an overweight person out there. There's not a fat person out there that doesn't know they're fat. And if you're gonna be the asshole that's gonna come out and do that, screw you. I got no love for you. You can't shame people into getting in shape. These people are hurting. You think they want to hear you calling them that? No, absolutely not. So now he's come out with eat more sugar, eat more sugar.
He only eats sugar now. And not only has he completely flipped it, he won't explain why.
Because he's finding these people, when they run out of game, they just go the other way, and he'll be back. Trust me, or he'll be somewhere else. And you got Mark Bell to buy into this. Who's Mark Bell? A drug addict.
Cole is working with Mark Bell?
Well, yeah, I heard that Smelly Bell. His name is Mark Smelly Bell. Mark Smelly Bell is a drug addict. There's no two ways about it. He will tell you he's a drug addict. He's been on steroids his whole life in one way or another. He and his brothers did a documentary together. I had his brother on the show, the guy who actually did the documentary, the other Bell. And then a third brother died from using steroids and drugs.
That's so sad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I really feel bad for Mark Bell. I wish he would get himself together and stop using drugs. But
does he have a big platform? Is that because I bought his steak shake one time, but I didn't like it because it was so sweet. It was
huge platform. He's all these guys make money. He came up with a thing, this kind of power strap that you put on to do bench press. So it helps you cheat up a bench press. That's all it is, right? Because if you look at some of these guys that are lifting 1,000-pound bench press and the whole thing, they put on what's called a ply suit, right? It's a bunch of different plies that you put on, and it stops the bar at a certain level and helps you push it up. Okay. His thing is called a slingshot or a body sling or a weightlifting sling or something. At any rate.
Is it good?
All the real strong guys use it to train with. Is it something you need? Absolutely not. If you're one of those guys, bench press. Yeah, just go bench press. The Mark Bell thing is doing nothing for you. But you see, again, it's snake oil guys that keep selling you this stuff. I could have gone down that road on day one. Right. I decided to stay poor and do this. Right.
Well, here we are. Let me go back to this honey diet.
I could have easily gone down the same roads as Mark Bell or snake oil guy or V-Shred guy or any of those guys.
Easily, because that's what the whole diet industry is based on, lies.
Yeah. And I've been sitting here going, listen, don't buy into it. Stop buying into this crap. There's a reality. Don't fall for another trick. Don't fall for another cabbage soup diet, if you will, or Cambridge diet, or any of this other junk diet that you've been sold your entire life. If it worked, I don't have a heart. You want to talk about a guy without a horse in the race? Me, right? I would love it if you bought my vitamins or my ultra fat or any of the stuff I sell, the coffee, right? But I never sit here and tell you need my products to be healthy, because that would be a lie.
Right.
What I do here is separate from the vitamins, the coffee, and the ultra fat. It's separate, right? I've never told anyone ever that you need any of that stuff. I've never said, go get Anavicino sauce and you'll lose weight, because that would be a lie.
Right.
Right? We're selling real wholesome products, but we're not willing to go big like these people do and go, oh, do my thing and you'll lose X amount of pounds. Go do this now and go do that. I'm not willing to lie to people. And as far as I could tell, Anna's been my co-host for 13 years. She's not willing to lie. Well, she lied once, but I won't tell you guys about that.
What did I lie about?
Kidding, Anna. But think about it, Anna. We've been doing this for 13 years, and you saw it. Look, I'm going to tell a story Anna and I haven't told on the show in a long time. Early on, in the early days of us podcasting, we were up for a Podcast of the Year award for some bullshit.
Yeah.
And being, babes in the woods, we went, okay, we'll go to Vegas. As much as we hate Vegas, we'll go there for a weekend and just do what we have to do.
Right.
So we're in Vegas.
Listen, it would have been nice to win. That wouldn't have been such a bad thing.
I'm sure we came in second. We were in the top 5. There were 5 people.
We definitely were in the top 5.
So we were talking, I'm not going to mention because these people are still out there. We were talking to this guy and his girlfriend, and they were talking about how they're making a lot of money. And their podcast was not as big as ours. And they were making a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, well, what kind of money are you guys making? And stop me if I'm lying. Didn't they say it was like 20,000? They were bringing like 20,000 a month at the
27.
time. 20. Yeah, we're clearing 27,000 a month right now. And should we tell them what they were doing, Anna?
Sure.
All right. Anna goes, how? And the girl goes, oh, I just do recipes. He's got the podcast and I do the recipes, and we sell the recipes. And every month we sell another big group of recipes. And Anna and me, being dopes as we are, Anna goes, oh my God, are you like a chef, or what do you do? Or how did you come up with all these recipes? Anna, what did the woman say to us?
She said she finds them on the internet, changes one measurement, and then publishes them because that's legal.
She goes on the internet. She'll take something. It could be from, Good Home, Better Homes and Gardens. It could be from anything.
From some blogger who already, whatever.
Blogger, anyone takes the recipe, changes 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces on something, and it's
quarter teaspoon to a half a teaspoon.
Yeah, just one thing, just change it. And she was proud to say it. She goes, yeah, anyone can do this. You just go and steal this, and we're selling it. They were just stealing people's information and reselling it. Anna and I were like, I looked at Anna and I said, you know what? I'll never need $27,000 a month that badly. I couldn't sleep. And Anna looked at me and she goes, me either. And that's when we fell in love.
No.
We went to one of those chapels with the Elvis and we got married.
We got work married. And it was an interesting thing too, of being like, I had been food blogging for a while, gluten-free recipes, before I went entirely grain-free from meeting you and learning about NSNG. And so it was a very interesting thing to be like, wait, do you make the recipes and test them? And she's like, no. I was like,
that was the other thing, because Anna,
I was like, wait, what?
Anna, let me toot your horn for you for a second, and then we'll do a Villa Capella, and then we'll be out.
Yeah. Well, I want to finish reading what the honey diet is.
All right, we'll get to that. But she said, Anna goes, well, how do you find time? After you find these diets and you change the one ingredient, you got to make them and test them and the whole thing. You must be cooking around the clock. And she goes, I don't do any of it. I don't even know how to cook. just take them and I just changed it. She was like laughing about it.
And I was like,
right? Well, we sat there with our mouth hung open because they were making, they were able to show us how much money they were making. Right. And we were like, you got to be kidding me. And they weren't as big as we were. Right. In the internet world.
Well, there's other takeaways I've come to find out now, knowing food producers and knowing people in the food world, that it's very much like, if you mess up a recipe at home, that's your fault. It's the user fault. It's very easy to say it's your fault, not a shittily written recipe. So they don't test a lot of really big names in food who they're on their cover holding their dish or whatever, and they didn't write a single recipe in there. It's all ghost written. It's all not even tested. They'll make it enough to like cheat the pictures. And I've always thought that's so interesting because I make things over and over again. Anyway, integrity is very important to you and I. So let me just go back real quick to this honey diet thing, because I really want to finish reading to you what it is.
Wait, before you do that, folks, Villa Capelli olive oil is the best olive oil on the planet. Anna, are they in stock right now?
Let me look.
By the way, Anna's going to look. If they're not in stock, Put your name on the list. They need to get in stock quickly because I'm down to 1 3-liter 10.
They're in stock. Vinnie, they're in stock. Ooh, they have new bottles for the flavored oils. Those are pretty.
You know what, Anna? I'm down to 1 3-liter 10. I'm going to pick up 2 3-liter 10s right after this podcast. And I'm going to get the Vinnie discount by putting in promo code Vinnie. I'm going to save a lot of money. That's $200 minus 10%. That's $20 off. And I will also get free shipping on that, which is, I'm going to save about $1 million on 6 liters of olive oil.
Yeah.
And that will last, well, a whop like me, that'll last a couple of months. But folks, go right now. They're back in stock. Go get Villa Capelli, promo code Vinnie, VINNIE. Go right now. If you wait, they're going to run out and you're going to go, well, I thought about it. I was going to do it. $100 a lot of money. Go get a 3. Don't mess around with the 750 milliliter thing because you're going to be out before you know it. Get the 3-liter 10. Or look, if you want to try it once and this and that, knowing the whole thing, get the 750 milliliter. But as soon as you get it home and taste it,
you'll come around
back and get the 3-liter 10. It's the only way to do it. Promo code Vinnie, VINNIE, no wimpy Y, Villa Capelli. Anna.
Now, I know we have to wrap up this show, but I just want to real quick read to you what this is.
About this.
Okay. So it says, below is everything you'll ever need to know about the candy-coated craze, including a written interview with the anonymous biologic mastermind himself, Anabology. The rules are simple. The honey diet, and this is a reprint. So I'm reading this from the @Anabology X post. I wanted a diet where I could eat as much as I possibly could as a fairly lean individual already and still lose weight. This is my attempt at that. It seemed to work. Eating 1 pound of honey and a half a pound of dates a day, I lost 10 pounds in a month or so, and my blood work just got better. Protocol: waking to 3 p.m. As much of simple non-starchy sugars as you want. No fat, no protein. Honey, orange juice, maple syrup, dates, grapes, cherries, oranges, watermelon, black coffee with sugar. If you absolutely want protein, do gelatin only in this phase. Then 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Fast. Go to the gym. Burn off that last blood sugar. 7 p.m. to sleep. Eat dinner. I prefer to do something big like 1 pound of lean beef, 1 pound of green vegetables, well cooked, broccoli, asparagus, etc., 1 pound boiled mushrooms, a glass or 2 of chocolate skim/low-fat milk.
I don't have my phone here, so I'm doing math, Anna. Let's carry the 1. This is 13. We got over here. We got.
I got a headache just reading all that sugar stuff because whenever I eat sugar, I get a headache.
All right, so Anna, I want you to add something up for me. I have a number here, but I think I want to make sure I have it right. You have a calculator?
I'm getting it. Okay.
23 times 16.
368.
That's what I got, 368.
Okay.
Wanted to make sure. All right, so wait, I want to add to that. How many dates do they have? How many dates are they eating?
Pound of honey and a half a pound of dates.
Okay. All right, so Anna, do 110 times 8. That's 880, right?
880, yeah.
All right, so take 880 plus 368, and what do you get?
1,248.
Okay. According to these people, according to what Anna just read, I'm sorry I don't have my calculator here. What was that number again, Anna?
1,248.
1,248. That's the number of carbs you're getting from 1 pound of honey and a half a pound of dates. 1,248. The fact that that's written down.
A pound of honey seems like that's more than what even comes in a package of honey. Right? Doesn't that seem like a lot of honey?
16 ounces, so I took 23 carbs per ounce.
Who buys 16 ounces of honey at once?
A lot of people. Those squeeze bottles come in 8 and 16.
They do?
Yeah,
All
pretty
right.
much. So
seems like a lot.
That is 1,248 carbs grams of carbs. 1,248 grams of carbs. They want you to do that per day. Anna, take 1,248 and multiply that by 7.
That's 8,736
carbs per week.
grams of carbs.
Grams of carbs per week. You would go into a diabetic coma by the end of the first week of doing this. Do you see how
if he is actually doing this, is it because he's super fit and working out so much?
No, he's not doing it, Anna. Trust me, no one's doing this. You would walk around with the shits. I go right now and go get a half a pound of dates and eat them.
I can't.
Go eat a half a pound of dates. If your teeth are still in your mouth, you're going to shit your pants. I mean, do you see how nuts the internet is? See, I did a quick math when you were reading this.
Mm-hmm.
We're at over 8,000 carbs per week. We're at over 1,200 grams of carbohydrates per day just on these two things. Anna, go back. Make sure it said per day. I almost, when you said
he
that.
He said, eating 1 pound of honey and half pound of dates a day, I lost 10 pounds in a month or so. And my blood work got better.
You guys want to believe these charlatans? Knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. Do you see the absurdity of this? Anna, what's it? Let me look up.
So he goes on to say, when I click on the link to go to it, the rationale. This came from a few key observations. Number one, blood glucose goes back to baseline within a few hours of eating pure sugar, even if you have a lot of it. 2, blood glucose stays slightly elevated for a long time after eating a meal with protein and fat. 3, protein and fat make diabetics require more insulin to process the same amount of sugar. 4, both protein and fat appear to be elevated for under 12 hours after eating a meal with them. And then he goes on to say a whole bunch of things.
Okay.
Okay, the Randall cycle plus fructose can cause fatty liver, but added fructose in isolation does not appear to cause a fatty liver.
All right, so 2 liters of Coke has 220 carbohydrates.
Okay.
So
a 2-liter bottle?
Yeah.
Well, how come honey and dates have more than that?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you, Anna. All right, so if a 2-liter Coke has 220 grams of sugar, you would have to drink 6 2-liter bottles of Coke. That's what they're telling you to do. 6 2-liter bottles of Coke per day. So that's 12. That's 12 liters of Coke per day to get to 1248. Does anyone see the absurdity in this? Well, why are we even talking about this? This is the dumbest thing we've ever talked about on this podcast. I want this to go down. First, let me apologize to the audience. I'm sorry that we made you dumber today by you having to listen to this.
But this is everywhere, all over the internet, Vinnie. So
yeah, okay.
Why not address it?
Has the internet not been wrong before? We fucking had
no,
for
girl. Sure.
I mean, come on.
No, for sure. But I'm saying, like, this is people. My husband was legit going, and let me go in and read this part of the article. From a macros perspective, this is basically the exact same as former carnivore Paul Saladino's current diet. Dr. Saladino says he consumes as much as 300 grams of carbs per day from fruit and honey and raw milk. The rest is meat. Okay, so they quote Paul Saladino.
Okay, but they're quoting him wrong, because if Paul is getting, let's say Paul is doing 300 grams of carbs a day. You know, lactose has a lot of carbs, fruit has a lot of carbs, honey has a lot of carbs. They're saying a pound of honey and a half a pound of dates, which gives you 1,248 grams of sugar. So even Paul Saladino was 1/3 of that.
Yeah.
Not even 1/3, 1/4. I'm sorry. I didn't do my math correctly. Paul Saladino was at, even if Paul, which I know Paul didn't do, Paul would have been at 1/4 of what they're recommending. Do you understand how absurd this is?
It's crazy.
This could put anyone into a diabetic coma. We just made people dumber today. I'm sorry, folks. We made you.
Well, guess what? I have to go, and so do you.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap it up there. Do with it what you will, folks. If you want to do the honey diet, have at it.
Folks, you want to get something good, go check out Anna Vocino at Eat Happy Kitchen. She's got the cheese bites. I will mukbang them myself as soon as they get here. The next time we podcast, I will be mukbanging those.
They are very crunchy.
I cannot wait to get them. So check out Anna. Rate and review this podcast. Also, before you go to Amazon, go to VinnieCharteries.com. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps us keep this podcast free so that we can keep bringing stupidity to you guys in the form of the honey diet. So if you want us to keep bringing stupidity to you, please go to VinnieCharteries.com. As a matter of fact, we're putting up a new VinnieCharteries.com site. It may be out by the time this comes out. We're doing all kinds of exciting stuff that's happening over here. So on behalf of Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Charterich. I need to relax. Let me put this song back on because this song, somehow Casey relaxes me. On behalf of Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Charterich. Put life into living and do it with one Mr. Casey and the Sunshine Band.